All right. Hey guys, I wanted to come on and I just wanted to go over a very gentle nighttime routine. And this is really for those of you that want to pamper your skin and really take care of your skin. So I don't do anything aggressive. I'm not into aggressive skincare, not into burning and peeling and doing all of that. Okay, so everything I do is pretty gentle with the exception of maybe facial cupping and the spiky ball. Those are probably the most aggressive things that I do to my skin, and I wouldn't even call them aggressive. And of course, slapping and pinching. Some people might think that's a little bit aggressive, but it's just bringing blood circulation to the surface of the skin, which is a very valuable thing to do, especially as we get older. We can use all the help and support that we can get. But again, I'm only willing to do it if it is going to maintain the integrity of my skin the way nature intended. And nature intended for us to have an intact stratum corneum. And that outer layer of the stratum corneum is the horny layer. And it's not just a bunch of dead skin cells. Even though that's what it is, it has vital functions, okay? And remember, whenever you try to manipulate nature's program, there's always going to be a price to pay. So I'm not willing to try and manipulate the program. I'm just trying to balance what it is that I want to experience with my skin and what nature wants. Because if that gap is too big, then you're going to end up with undesirable effects and consequences. They may not happen right away, but eventually nature's going to win, okay? Or if nature doesn't win, there's going to be a lot of fallout, okay? And a lot of casualties along the way. So my whole perspective has always been, if any of those modern skincare things worked, facelifts wouldn't exist, right? Nobody would be getting facelifts. But the reality is that they don't. They don't. And what happens is they can give you some benefit initially, okay? But then things just keep catching up with you. And then you become addicted to looking a certain way, expectations, and then you keep going down that dark path, which is a very dark and disturbing path. So I think it's better to just embrace it all and learn to love yourself, because when you love yourself, you aren't interested in looking younger, all right? Because there's nothing there that you want or need, right? When you are really at peace with yourself and at peace with your life, and you're in a good place, you have no desire to try to look like something you're not, look like someone you're not. And you also realize that youth has nothing that we want, nothing that is useful for us, nothing that we need. So why do we want to look younger? Like it's almost as if we're living in like a tragic comedy, right? Like, you know, the Truman Show on crack is what I've always said. We're living in the Truman Show, and people are just operating out of a program. And people don't even know themselves. People aren't in touch with themselves. They're just following the program. And this is what the whole societal program is about, is getting people to not feel good about themselves so that they will be consumers and spend thousands and thousands of dollars on all this shit and have their bodies completely tweaked and messed with and changed, all in attempt to look like something that is really just not attainable. And There's this one dermatologist on YouTube. I don't know how old she is, but she literally looks like a Barbie doll, and she looks ridiculous. She looks ridiculous, and I read the comments, and I'm just blown away that there's anybody out there that even thinks she looks even remotely good. She's got fat lips and tight this and tight that and fillers, and she looks horrible. She absolutely looks horrible, and it is amazing to me how many people actually think she looks good, unless it's all bots, and I don't really know. She has a decent following. It's insane. It is absolutely insane. She looks ridiculous. Embarrassing, actually. Embarrassing. And a lot of these people that are doing all of this stuff, it's embarrassing. I'm surprised that they aren't even embarrassed. But again, it goes to show you they don't see it. They're blind to it. It's like an anorexic doesn't realize how terrible they look. Because it's mental illness. It's mental illness, and they can't be thin enough. And it's the same thing with everything happening now. You just can't be good enough. You'll never look good enough. Never. It's really, it's such a bizarre, crazy thing to me. Again, it's one thing to have something that you really want to remove because you really hate it, or it's so disturbing to you because it's really noticeable and really distracting or something. And I get there's reasons people are going to do it. My daughter has a scar on her nose, and she just hates it. She hates it. It's on the tip of her nose, and because it's raised, you can't hide it with makeup. And she's thinking about having that removed. And I don't blame her. I don't blame her. She's young. She hates it. It's been there for a couple of years. It's not going away. It will probably never go away. And, she doesn't like it. But that's not like hardcore plastic surgery, right? And I understand some people are born with very, very deformed or things that are so out of proportion that they want to, nip and tweak a little bit. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about the average people that are doing these absolutely insane things to their faces. It's crazy. You won't see me doing any of that. So I am doing very gentle stuff, okay? So that was just kind of my first round. This is my second round because I did have some mineral powder on today. So I'm incorporating a little bit of massage into removing it. So that way I don't have to spend time afterwards doing the massage. This is increasing the circulation. See how it's bringing red to my skin, which is the goal. I really want to pink up the skin and bring that circulation up. And I'm just using olive oil. This is the Delissa brand. It's got the yellow label with the black horse on it, and it's the organic olive oil. And I like that you can trace the origins of the olive oil, and it's supposed to be pure olive oil that's not cut with other oils and things like that. And I really want to believe it's true. But that's what I use because it's available where I can get it easily. And it's not like the most expensive. It's not the cheapest either, but it's kind of I don't think it's bad as far as price, considering how much I get and what I'm using it for. I'm using it for skincare. I don't eat it. I just use it in my products, and I use it to remove my mineral powder. And again, there's all sorts of oils you can choose from. Grapeseed oil, sunflower oil. I mean, there's just tons, but I like olive oil because it works for me. It's good for me. And I can get a big bottle for really cheap compared to other skincare stuff. So for me, it's the way to go because I'm pretty frugal and I like a good deal. So I didn't have anything else today on. I just had a little bit of mineral powder because I was outside this afternoon for a bit. So a little bit of sun protection. So this is is my second round, and there's nothing left on my cloth, so my skin is very clean now and ready to go. And I am going to go in with my rose water. Now, if you're someone who really likes to do stuff at night, because it really is the best time. Because when you sleep, your skin is actually going into repair, rejuvenation, restoration mode, right? And it's doing all the things at night that it can't do during the day because it has other jobs to do during the day, right? So it's doing a lot at night. So it's really, really good to support it at night, especially. And this is a great time to go in with something like some facial cups, or really anything that is going to stimulate circulation. You guys know I love this spiky ball. Love this. You can go in and do a little gua sha. You can go in and use a kanza wand. You can do whatever. But this I really love. This I kind of compare to like pinching and slapping, where it like really, really gets the circulation going. So I'm a big fan. Big fan. So I'm going to apply my face balm. Now, this is not the one that I was using throughout the summer. This is a much richer one. This has shea butter, cocoa butter. It does have my tallow and pork lard and ghee and duck fat, and it does have plant oils, a bunch of different plant oils too. And this one does have the butters, so it's definitely very, very rich. And I do really, really like this formula, especially going into the fall and winter. And I'm just gonna lube up my face. Now, when you do cupping, you can also do your chest, okay? You can do your neck. Just be careful of the triangle here, okay? You've got arteries and stuff in there, so you need to be really careful. I don't bother with my neck, to be honest. I do massage my neck, okay? And you know, but I really just don't. I guess I just don't care that much. But yeah, if you want to do a little cupping, you get a good suction and you sweep out. And I don't really count. I just do it until I see a nice pink color. Okay, because again, the goal is to bring circulation to the area and blood. So counting to me just doesn't mean anything. It's, what do I want to see? I want to see pink. I want to see a little bit of red. And then once I see what I want, I move on. So I would say I usually do about 5 or 6 swipes, roughly around there. But again, I'm more interested, I want to see this. And sometimes when I do an area, I just don't see a lot. So sometimes I'll do a little bit more just to kind of pull that red up, okay? So again, it really just depends on your skin. Some places are going to pull up easier than others. Just keep that in mind, okay? Then I'm going to go to my forehead. And again, I want to see some pink, see some red. And there's people out there that teach this, so I'm not teaching you, I'm just showing you. This is what I do. I cut pretty hard, and I've actually done some pretty aggressive cupping, and I've never had a mark on my face. It's never left a mark on my face. But again, you know, who knows? I can't say what's going to happen to somebody else. Oh, so it's kind of hard to cup through here. So I just kind of give it little pinch kisses. I do have a smaller cup over there too, but I'm just going to use this one for now. Again, see that nice color coming up? If I go too fast, it just kind of comes off. I always have to remind myself to slow down. I'll come to the middle, I'll just go up, straight up. Try to get this as best I can. I'm going to come out. Again, it's a little hard to do over here, so I'm going to come and I'm going to do this. Stick it on. Pull up that blood. Then I'm going to start down here, and then I'm going to slide it up. So again, you're pinching it, and you're releasing the suction, and you're sliding it. And it's okay if it takes you a few times to, you know, figure it out. My jaw's bony, so it doesn't like to stick too good on my jaw. Sometimes I find if I just kind of like twist it a little bit, sometimes I like that too. Sometimes I'll do this too. If it's like just not wanting to stay on my skin very good. My face is just pretty bony. So for me personally, I do have to give it a bit of pressure to just keep it on my skin. If I slide it lightly, it just comes right off. So I do have to kind of push a little bit. So again, and then come here and do like above my lip, and I'm just kind of pinching, kissing. And then I would come in with the smaller one to do the nose. And if you want to do around the eyes, you can do your eyes too, but you use this real teeny one. And you can do around the lips too with this. So again, there's a couple of people that are, you know, on there teaching this. That's kind of their purpose for being there. I'm here to just share with you what I do for skincare. And yes, I've learned all this stuff along the way, but you know, there's plenty of other people teaching it and stuff. And I don't like to teach. I don't like to tell people what to do. I just share. Now, when I say I teach facial massage and teach skincare, I'm just sharing with people these are options, but I don't like to tell anyone what to do. People have to do what they got to do, and I'm not going to be responsible for any of it. Do what floats your boat. If you like what I do and you want to try it, that's great. I'll show you how to do it. See, this slides down across the nose. Pretty good. See, it's making my nose red. So if you tend to have really sensitive skin or rosacea or whatever, you may not want to do cupping because it's just going to pull up more blood. However, this is the big however, more blood means the body has an opportunity to heal too, right? So, you know, it's one of those things. You'd have to really look into it and see if it's something you would want to do. Because it's kind of like with acne. Like, some people say don't do it with acne, and other people use it as an acne treatment. Go figure, right? So I can't tell you what to do. Well, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm a personal big believer. People have to try things for themselves and see what works for them. I challenge everything. And I try for myself. And I disprove a lot of things because I'm like, no, that wasn't my result. I tried this and this is what happened to me. And yeah, so I'm a big experimenter, and I do experiment. And I've done some kind of crazy ones too where people think I'm nuts. But I challenge everything. And sometimes it's a little dangerous, but I do it because I want to find out. And I've been able to kind of disprove a lot of things that people say. And maybe it's not so much disproving, but just kind of showing you, like, okay, maybe you don't need to be so rigid. And if you're a little, you know, a little flexible, it's okay. All right. You don't have to like follow a protocol this way to get benefits. You know, you can get benefits by doing it a little different and things like that. So anyway, so there's that. So that's just what I do. Okay, you might have people that do it differently. You know, once you start getting into some of the deeper kind of systems that are like kind of hell-bent on protocol, like you have to do it this way. I think maybe that's true for some things, but I'm very eclectic. I do a lot of different things. And I always share this with people. They've actually done some studies where they had professional acupuncturists, like professional acupuncturists doing acupuncture on people. And then they had people just randomly poking people with toothpicks. And the people that got randomly poked with toothpicks actually experienced some benefit. And I don't believe that this has anything to do with the placebo. I believe it's because you poke around, you're bound to hit channels that need to be opened and moved, and moving that energy, right? So it makes sense to me. So even though a skilled acupuncturist is amazing, and I highly encourage you to go to a skilled acupuncturist, what I'm saying is that when it comes to some things, we don't necessarily have to follow a perfect protocol in order to get amazing benefits, okay? So that's all I'm saying. And that's just how I like to cook. And I don't ever do it the same way. Sometimes I go up, 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 and then the forehead. Sometimes I go up, up, forehead. Sometimes I start at the forehead and I move down. I don't know, just whatever I feel like. And again, if you've got a lot of sun damage, I'm just not going to cup. But you can cup your chest and stuff too. So again, it's really whatever you like. So there's that. And I am going to finish it off with some zinc balm. You guys know I love this. This is the Badger. It's the baby formula, and it's the Roman chamomile and calendula formula. I freaking love this stuff. And it smells amazing. It's not perfume. It's real plant extracts, okay? And very healing for the skin. If you tend to be sensitive to, plant extracts and stuff, always do a patch test, but I love this stuff. Absolutely love it. And I use it as a night cream. And this particular one is in a base of sunflower oil, and it has a little bit of beeswax in it. Now, if you want something that's a lot more occlusive, I always recommend the Boudreaux's butt paste, because that one has petrolatum, which is basically Vaseline. And again, I've done videos on petroleum products and how they're renewable. They come from the earth. Okay, and the earth is always making it. So it's a totally natural product that is renewable. And the petrolatum goes through a refining process, so they're removing any of the polycyclic aromatic compounds that could potentially, and I say potentially in air quotes, potentially be problematic. Those are removed. They just remove them. So they're not in there, okay? So no, Vaseline is not toxic. People need to stop saying that crap. I mean, it's probably one of the best occlusives you can use. But it doesn't have any inherent healing qualities. And I do like plant oils and, you know, butters and things like that, because they do have a lot more things in them that are going to be beneficial for your skin. But I do like Vaseline or petroleum product in that type of skincare formula as an occlusive, because it is great. Really, really helps to keep moisture in your skin, and goodness knows as we get older we need that. So that's my gentle skincare routine, okay? And a lot of the redness has gone down now, but yeah. So the Boudreaux butt paste, I usually recommend people start with the sensitive skin formula. Make sure that they do okay with it. It does have castor oil in it, and if you do okay with castor oil, I like that formula, but the maximum strength has more zinc, so it's going to be a lot more heavy duty, and it does contain balsam of Peru, and some people are sensitive to that or allergic. So if you tend to be sensitive to things, you'd want a patch test, but I love that stuff. Absolutely love it. I recommend it to a lot of people, but again, you would want a patch test, all right, if you've never used that product before. That is really rich and really thick. This one just blends in a little bit better. Doesn't leave a white cast. The other one definitely leaves a white cast. So this one I wear day and night, and the other one I wear at night only, because it does leave a white cast. Although I can blend it in pretty good, but it's harder too, much harder. So yeah. So once winter comes and it gets real dry and real cold, I will be using the Boudreaux butt paste a lot more. But for now, I love the Badger. And I don't make my own zinc bombs just because they're just a pain and I just don't want to do it. So I make everything else of my own, everything. But I do not make zinc creams and zinc bombs at this time. I've made them in the past. I used to make them when my kids were little. I made them for sunscreens, and yeah, I did make them, but I just don't want to. Because they're messy. It's messy, and it takes a lot of effort to actually merge it all together so that you have this really nice formula that's really, really well merged. It's kind of a pain, so I just don't want to do it. So I think that's all I wanted to share with you guys for now. So that is my gentle nighttime skincare routine. I do different things. I don't always do the cupping, okay? I do try to do something like that, though, at least 3 times a week, whether it's the spiky ball, the cupping, more facial massage, just a lot more than what I did earlier. The Kanza wand, but the Kanza wand to me is not in the same league because it doesn't really pull the red up. Again, I want to pull the red up on my skin at least 3 times a week, if not 4 times a week, sometimes even 5 times a week. It just depends what I feel like. And again, remember, more blood means more life, more collagen, get your skin cells to work better, as long as you have the right nutrition and as long as you have a good amount of what the body needs to bring to the skin, okay? And one of the things too is that when you do, I don't like the word aggressive, but when you do like really good massage, like, you know, you're actually really helping to move all of those fluids, okay? Moving the fluids, and that helps to remove waste as well, okay? And if you like, you can do some lymphatic drainage. Again, there's tons of videos and stuff out there. I had some older videos on it, but I removed everything, and now I'm just kind of starting from scratch again, and I don't have any on it right now, but there's plenty of people that do. But honestly, this light surface stuff, it's just not for me. I do like lymphatic stuff, but I like facial massage. And then I will sometimes finish off with kind of some light stroking, hitting the points, you know, that type of thing. But honestly, I don't notice a difference when I do it and when I don't do it. So it's not like priority to me. Just manipulating your skin and stuff is going to help drain stuff. It's going to bring stuff in and help remove stuff. That's just the way it works, okay? But again, if you had something specific that you really needed to drain, then yeah, you could definitely do that. But I have found that even on days like if I wake up in the morning and for whatever reason I've eaten at a restaurant and my body's kind of like not doing so hot because I might have like eaten some salad dressing or something that didn't agree with me, and my eyes are puffy and my face is a little puffy, doesn't matter what I do. I can do some lymphatic drainage, I can do facial massage, I can do a little gua sha, just massaging around my eyes, and it works. So it doesn't matter what I do. I guess that's all I'm trying to say. Doesn't matter what I do. It's going to help move some of that fluid out. That was all I was trying to say. Okay, so I guess I'll be signing off for now.